Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. I am enjoying the day in the sun because it's absolutely gorgeous in Stamford, Connecticut right now. I went down to the pool around 10, figured start my day because it looks so nice out there. Get to responding to more of your guys' comments. And then the teaser for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio coming to Netflix dropped, and I said I should probably go watch that one because that could be, at least for me, that's a big one. It's all the things that I love. Anyway, I digress. So now I'm sitting in my apartment and just finished filming the Pinocchio trailer. Gonna wrap up my laptop, go right back outside, and then I said, you know what? There was one Comic-Con trailer that I probably should have gotten to right away that I never did. And I still haven't, caught up in all the hoopla that I've been caught up in over the last 3-4 days. So I said to myself just now, let me take a look at that trailer and then go outside, edit, and post these bad boys. So this is not wasting any time. I'm kind of excited because I would love to see this world done in a way that just makes everybody want to go to the movies. What am I talking about? What Comic-Con piece of trailer content have I to catch up on? Well, why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat. We're getting ready to take a look at the official trailer for Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Now, as you all know, I'm a huge nerd, and I love Stranger Things, and a massive element of Stranger Things is Dungeons & Dragons, and I love conceptually the way they are able to use that inside of that show. Now, we've gotten Dungeons & Dragons movies in the past. The last one that I saw featured Marlon Wayans, and that's really about it when it comes to my Dungeons & Dragons connections. I didn't grow up playing Dungeons & Dragons. That wasn't my area of nerddom, but it is one that I respect, and especially because of things like Stranger Things, like building that world and the concepts. It's something that, like, had I had a group of friends that played D&D and I really was understanding what D&D was back then, maybe I would have gotten into it. So that being said, it's an area, while I am unfamiliar, I think it has some really interesting concepts and ideas, and I don't think we've really gotten any kind of an adaptation that's really hit home on screen to, capture the world of a Dungeons & Dragons story. So look, the thing that's cool, right, is like Dungeons & Dragons, you make your own campaign, you have, your characters and stuff, and you kind of live this story live. And that allows you to really go anywhere, as long as you can capture the essence around you and deliver a good storyline. And I think if you can do that here, we could have a massively successful Dungeons & Dragons franchise. And like I said, we've never seen it get off the ground yet, but I swear to God, if there's one guy in the world that can get people to get behind a Dungeons & Dragons movie, it's Chris Pine. I mean, that dude, of all the Chris's in the Hollywoods, I think Chris Pine might be the most chemistry compatible actor in the world. Like, his on-screen chemistry with his co-stars is always through the roof. I mean, I've said for years, Chris Pine could act across from a rock and that movie would be interesting, and he'd make it charming as hell. So if there's gotta be a guy that can bring Dungeons & Dragons to the mass audiences in a way that gets them excited, I think that's a guy that you can kind of put your trust in. Now, along with him, you've got Michelle Rodriguez, Regé-Jean Page, who did not have the greatest outing in The Gray Man. I think losing his British accent is a bad decision. So hopefully he has it back here, and we'll get that Regé-Jean Page that we like from Bridgerton. You're gonna have Justice Smith in here, Hugh Grant. I'm just like doing a quick scroll. I think that's about it for the big names. But I mean, you got a pretty decent sized cast here, and a cast with a lot of actors that can do a lot of different things. And in a world like Dungeons and Dragons, I think you want that kind of diversity and vibe in the types of characters you have, and because there's all the different archetypes and things. So look, not knowing anything, I just feel like this has got a shot to work just because of the people that are being involved. And I think that with the actors and people that we have here, we certainly have one of those. So I'm very, very excited to take a look at this trailer. I would love to see a Dungeons & Dragons series take off and get going in a way where we can kind of revisit these worlds. Because ultimately, it's just like a lot of medieval badassery when you think about it. So let's get the trailer up, wasting no more time, and let's take a look at our official trailer from Comic-Con for Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Oh, we got creatures, powers, dragons. Right feel off the
Here's the
bat.
thing. We're a team of thieves.
Yes.
And when you do this, you're bound to make enemies. Sometimes those enemies come looking for revenge.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! What is that? Is that dragon shooting rocks out of its mouth? That was awesome. I like it already. We're getting interested. I never seen a dragon do that.
We help the wrong person steal the wrong thing.
Great music choice.
The greatest evil the world has ever known.
Woo!
But we're gonna fix it.
So how do we pull that off? Figure it out over a drink?
Probably best.
Yes, dude, I love the vibe right up the
We're
gate.
gonna need strength. You got this, right?
I know you don't.
We also need courage, magic,
Yes.
and you.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa! That was awesome.
It's an owlbear.
Owlbear! Oh, that was dope. Let's go.
There is evil here.
I'm glad he's on our side.
You had thieves. Let's
This one's
go.
dangerous.
Oh.
But whatever happens,
Well, that was cool. Dude.
we'll be ready.
Dude. Let's go.
What is it exactly that you bring to this?
I'm a planner. I make plans.
You've already made the plan, so
If the existing plan fails, I make a new plan.
you make plans that fail.
No,
He also plays the lute.
not relevant.
Oh, that mashup of comedy and action is like right in my wheelhouse. That is the type of stuff that I just love. And I tell you what, man, you're getting that Dungeons and Dragons vibe, man. You got your team. I know that's not the right word, but you got your group. You're ready for your campaign. You know what your goal is. You've got a MacGuffin that you gotta go. You know, you're gonna have lots of things like that, right? But you got this MacGuffin that you're gonna be chasing. You're gonna have magical and mystical, elements and weapons. And as you're building all of this wonderful stuff for a Dungeons and Dragons world, and as an audience member, you just know that Chris Pine works very well in action. To get the beat at the end where he's like, "Oh, I'm the planner. That's what I bring to the team. Well, the planning's done. So why are you here? Well, that plan goes wrong. I'll just make another plan." And he plays the lute. Like, that's the kind of mashup that I think a franchise like a Dungeons and Dragons movie needs if it's going to hit the right way. I think you could do a very serious, very Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings-esque version of a Dungeons and Dragons movie. But guess what? That space is really, really crowded already in areas that are doing that medieval mythology type stuff really, really well. I mean, Game of Thrones is coming back. We've got all of these other mystical and magical, seriously taken dramas that are out right now. Like, Dungeons and Dragons is a world where, yeah, you could do it serious, but you could also do it really, really fun. And if you need it to stand apart from these other shows that have dragons and magic, castles, that's a really smart way, I think, to go about it. And like I said, you have a cast that is just charm and charisma everywhere. I mean, I'm not even the biggest Michelle Rodriguez fan, and in the context of this, I think she's gonna work really, really well. She knows how to handle her action, and her very talk-backative nature that she has can really fit in with the vibe of this group. So I think we've done a really great job on the casting side. I think you got people that are easy to root for and like the team that we have is a team I want to ride with. And then you've populate it with all of this wonderful mythological stuff, but it's got, I don't want to say cartoony, because cartoony is the wrong word, but, you know, like the way Thrones, say, like, just on the dragons, take the imagery of the dragons in this. I feel like Thrones is going for, like, a very realistic-looking dragon, and while these dragons look realistic, they don't quite feel real, and I think that's a good thing, especially with the vibe and tone to the movie. Like, a look that looks tangible, but also, like, you know, a little cartoony, I guess. It's the only way to put it. Like, there just seems to be an element of fun behind the design of the creatures that we're getting here. And I kind of like that. It gives it kind of its own vibe. Like, even just the title, like the logo, the font and style to the logo, I think kind of matches with the font and style to the visual effects that are in there, where it's like one of these, I don't need hardcore realism in order for things to be realistic enough in a movie for me to enjoy. But, you know, having kind of like, I don't know, like, it almost feels like the dragons will smile at you, you know, like, and I kind of dig that, and I like the fact that all of the dragons that we see in that trailer don't look like any dragons that we've seen in other places, and that's kind of why I like the look and feel they're going for, and I still think cartoony is the wrong word, but that's something that's just a little not real to each one of those monsters, and that's fine by me, because I think it kind of plays into the fun and vibe of the movie. So, look, man, you're populating this thing with visuals that I think are working. I mean, doing conceptual things, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that dragon was shooting rocks or mud or some sort of slime out of his mouth, not fire. So, like, that was really kind of cool and interesting, and I like that they're willing to kind of play with stuff like that and try to have fun in this big action, you know, adventure environment. And I think the vibe of this speaks to what hopefully Dungeons and Dragons fans are looking for. Now, like I said, I didn't grow up playing Dungeons and Dragons, so maybe this hits differently for me. So now that I've said everything I have to say, I want to know what you're thinking. Are you a fan of Dungeons and Dragons? You grew up playing the game? You know, how many campaigns have you been on in your life? And if you are a diehard Dungeons and Dragons fan and you've seen the other content and media that exists, how is Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves looking? Do you like the idea conceptually for the story? Are you liking the visual effects? Do you like the cast? Is this the vibe you want? Or if you were in charge of a Dungeons and Dragons movie, would you go that hardcore realistic route that kind of puts you in that plane of like Game of Thrones and some of these other medieval magical dramas that exist now? Or is it smarter to kind of go the action adventure-y comic fun route? Anything you guys are thinking on Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, the official trailer from Comic-Con. Good, bad, indifferent, down below in the comments section. Look forward to talking to y'all down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man anytime we're talking movies, TV, trailer, reactions, you want to be here, you know, just like what's going on here. Well, hey, you can come show me a little love and support and join a really awesome community simply by jumping over there, hitting that subscribe button, hit that little bell if you want those alerts so you know anytime I'm calling for the C-Maniac troops to mount up, so to speak. Yeah, man, you want to be part of C-Maniac Nation, go do those things. I've done everything I got. I'm going to get to editing and then more content for you guys. And until then, for the C-Man's Cinema Sit Down, I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace, my babies. Oh, hey, what's going on? You must be sticking around because you're looking for more content featuring this guy. Well, guess what? You're in the right place. You can check out more videos right here and right here. And if you have and you want to come join that C-Maniac Nation, you can hit that subscribe right over there.